In this video we are going to talk about the definition of vectors. A vector is a quantity that has magnitude and the direction. Now we know magnitude meaning length from geometry. We know the notion. Direction is new. So if I draw a line like this, it has a length, but in vectors it has a direction to it. Could be like this, or the same length could be in this direction. So these two are different vectors. We can express vectors by column vectors. Like from the initial point I go 1, 2, 3, 4 units right, and then I go 3 units up and I come to the final point. So I can write this vector as 4 to 3, and this is called as the column vector. So this is how we express vectors. To find the magnitude of a vector, we simply use Pythagoras because we have this right triangle here, right? So if this is 4 units here and this is 3 units here, all I need to do is for this vector, which I underline it to show that it's a vector, I write the following: a squared is equal to 4 squared plus 3 squared. So it's going to be 16 plus 9, and I'll find a squared to be 25, from which I conclude a is square root 25, which is 5. So the magnitude of this vector is 5. Notice that I don't need the visual here actually. If I know the column vector, I can just substitute the numbers into Pythagoras and calculate the magnitude. Now let's write the column vectors for the given vectors here. And remember, up and right is a plus, down and left is a minus. So for the vector A, it will be, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 4 to 3 for vector A. For vector B, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 to left. So it's going to be minus 3, and 1, 2, 3 up. So it's 3. For vector C, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's down. So it's going to be here minus 5, and 2 here, it's left, so it's going to be minus 2. Here, let's do the x bit, horizontal bit first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is right. This is to the right, so it's going to be 5, positive 5. And 4 units down, it's going to be minus 4. Now for E and F, these are sort of horizontal and vertical unit vectors. So it's going to be, for E, there is no change in horizontal, so it's going to be 2 units up. We are going to write the x value 0, the horizontal 0, and 2 for the vertical. And for F, there is no vertical, so it's horizontal only. I'm going to write 3, as it's 3 units there, and 0 here. So these are the column vectors for the given vectors. Apart from expressing the vectors by column vector notation, we can also have the coordinate axes as, well, this is x and this is y. So we will have initial and a terminal point, right? If you call this A and this B, then we are talking about the vector AB because it starts from A and it ends in B. So as you calculate the change or the difference between two values, it's the same thing that we can find the column vector. Now let's find out the coordinates for A. So that's going to be a 3, that's going to be a 1, so A is 3 to 1, and B is going to be, let's say, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 4, right? So it's going to be 8 to 4. Now, oh man, so it's going back and forth, sorry for that. I'm going to calculate the column vector. I'm going to do this. AB, okay, is nothing but the difference between the final, because this is where it ends, right? It starts from A and it ends in B, right? So I'm going to calculate the difference between final and the initial. So what's going to happen is I can write the column vector like this. So at the top will be x values, the horizontal values, right? And at the bottom will be the y values. So I go like 8 minus 3 for x value difference, and 4 minus 1 for the y value difference. That's going to be my column vector. So I'm going to end up saying that this is nothing but 5 to 3. So that's how I can find column vectors if the vector is shown in a coordinate plane. Now is your turn. Pause the video now to work on these questions, and then play the video to see the answers. So here are the answers. This is 7 to 1. This is 5 to 5. This is 4 to 6. And this is minus 3 to minus 2. Now, in Pythagoras, you must write the negative numbers, like, for example, if you're calculating part C, it should be like 4 squared plus, in brackets, minus 6 squared, right? Or you can totally ignore the minus sign. Instead of writing this, you can write 4 squared plus 6 squared, as you're going to get the same answer anyway. So while calculating the magnitude, you can ignore the minus signs. That's totally okay. And another point is that, as you see, the answers are given in surds. Try to keep the answers in surds and do not go with decimals. And if you go like that, you can always find the simplest form, as in here, in surds. Just keep the answers in surds. Thank you.